for the school report. Today we welcome Lynn Halmerson to the studio, the superintendent of the Blair-Taylor School District, brought to you by Poppy Bus Service. The school report starts right now.
That is right. The school report does start now, and we're not sitting here with Lynn. Lynn sent Jared McCutchen, the principal. You're the elementary school principal?
Principal, yeah.
All right. Jared's joining me this morning. We've been talking about, he got to coach Mason Braun for a while, huh?
Yeah, I did actually. I was the head coach over at GT for a couple years there, and Mason was a freshman and sophomore my last 2 years there, and he's an unbelievable player. They're on an unbelievable run. I'm proud of those guys. Coach Ando has them playing really well, and so I'm excited for their game Saturday. I hope they make it to Madison. That would be quite the season.
Yeah, it's been so cool to see everything that's going on, and that's why we have you here a little earlier this morning, because we're going to start broadcasting our girls state semifinals, Olivas Drum versus Fall River at Green Bay at 8:15.
So very exciting.
So I'm glad Lynn had you come in early for us to get started. So let's get started on what's going on around the area. You just got back from spring break, and you're starting to ramp up for state testing.
Yeah, we just had our spring break last week. It was a nice time for a spring break. We had a really busy February. We ended with parent-teacher conferences that week before spring break, and those are pretty long days for staff. It's nice to see our families come in, and those are always well attended in the elementary. But it's a long week, so that spring break came at a really nice time.
Yeah.
So we had some time to unwind there. We had lots of families travel. Lots of students came back. We're in Florida and Texas and Arizona, so that was good to hear those. And then this week we got back. Beautiful weather on Monday, and here we are today.
And we won't talk about the weather today.
Yeah. So yeah, we're starting to ramp up for state testing a little bit. Our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders will be taking that forward state test, and our middle schoolers and some high school students as well up to 10th grade. They take that. That's coming up. So that's kind of always a busy time of year, and you prepare all year for that state test. That's not the hear all say all for students, of course, but it's something that all of the students have to do. So we want them to do their best and showcase everything they've learned. So we're excited to get that rolling.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're doing an early learning center is hosting a family science night next Thursday too.
We have quite a few family events ahead. That the science event is a great event to get our parents in, and they do some little experiments around the early learning center, and then the next day after that we have muffins with moms with our kindergartners. So that's for us, getting the parents into the building and being able to see what we're doing is always a good thing. And our especially our early childhood and our kindergarten teachers, they have quite a few parent events throughout the year, so those are always fun and well attended. And then Donuts with Dads coming up in the next month, so then we have we get both sides of it in there, so that's it's always a good time for our kindergartners and 4Kers to get their parents, and they like that.
Yep, and that's always fun. As a parent myself, my kids are all grown, but we do that stuff, the Donuts with Dads and muffins with Mom. It was always fun to come in. My kids would always make me bring my guitar and play a little song or something.
Yeah, they love that. They do as much show and tell as they can get, the better,
Yep. It's a lot of fun. So I'm sure the kids and the parents are looking forward to that
for
one.
Yeah, they like those events. So
yeah, and it looks like in a month or so you have your Egg Day coming up too. It sounds like.
Yeah, we have Egg Day in a month. That's always one thing that's special about our school at Blair-Taylor is we're one campus, so we get to see the high school students get to come down and visit the elementary students quite often, and those are always great events. Our Egg Day is run by Mrs. Munson, and she has all her egg students, and all the elementary students travel around and they see tractors and farm animals and all sorts of different activities for that day. So that's always a fun activity for our students.
Yeah, that sounds like a great day with them, and I like the idea of them being on the same campus. Some of the little kids may look up to some of the basketball players and stuff.
It's a really big deal. We have every other Friday we have Big Cats, Little Cats, where we have some high school junior seniors come down and visit our elementary students, and they do activities together. And with being all, like I said, on the same campus, it's a lot easier. You're just walking down the hallway to visit, and we have so many great high school mentors for elementary students, and they enjoy it. It's special for them, and we have students that come in and volunteer in the classroom, so it's a great thing. Yeah,
that is so great. Yeah, you guys are doing some really good things down there, and it sounds like you're finishing strong for this year, huh?
Yeah, we have. You're already thinking about once you get to this time of the year, you're already starting to think about planning for the next school year, which is crazy to think about. But you get into that mode where you're finishing out this year strong, and you're starting to think about what next year looks like, and that schedule and the staff. And in rural Wisconsin, especially in elementaries, your numbers fluctuate a little bit. You might have a class of 55 students, and the next year you might have an incoming kindergarten class of 39 students. So it kind of, your schedule changes a little bit every year, and your staffing changes a little bit every year. So we're already talking, we're having those conversations already, and we're excited. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but we're already thinking about summer school. We just had a summer school meeting the other day with our staff, and we're very fortunate at Blair-Taylor. We have, I talked to quite a few of my other friends that run summer school around the area, and they're always looking for people to teach summer school, and it's kind of hard to find. And at Blair-Taylor, I send out an email, and by the end of the day, I usually have a full staff. So we have a very dedicated staff, and I'm very appreciative of that. So we have a lot of things coming ahead.
Yeah, that's great. And we're talking about this big snowstorm coming up, but there's really not that much school left in the year.
There isn't. It's then if there isn't, and then you think you might get a snow day here in mid-March, possibly. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's it's kind of trending that way. You're winding down on days, and then you have your state testing days. And before you know it, it'll be May, and you'll be really winding down there. Yeah.
When is the last day of school? Do you know?
I believe it's June 4th or 5th. Okay. Don't quote me on that, but it's around that first week of June there. So this year we're going to there, and then next year we're starting a little bit earlier, which is exciting. We're starting kind of mid-August there, so we'll be out before Memorial Day next year. Yeah. So it'll be a unique transition into that calendar.
And it sounds like a lot of the local schools are adopting that too.
Quite a few. Quite a few of the local schools. I know Arcadia, Whitehall, Independence, and us for sure are kind of all on the same page calendar there.
Yep. So and that's the wonderful thing about this community and the community of schools. You guys work together. You have these, like Blair-Taylor, you got kids coming in from other schools to do other activities. And it's wonderful.
It is wonderful. We have students traveling to all those schools, and they have the big tech center in Whitehall, which is great for our students. And we have a lot of course offerings at Blair-Taylor where students come and travel to from other schools. So that's a great thing for our communities. And in rural Wisconsin, when you work together like that, you can make some pretty special things happen.
Yeah, you can. And is there anything else you want to cover about things going on in the elementary school?
No, the elementary, things are just humming along. And like I said, students are excited. They were excited to be back to school after spring break. They're always pretty excited to come back after a little break. And then, we just have the state testing and those things coming up. So we're winding down there.
No, that's great. Well, Jared, thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yep, I appreciate you coming in early, and take your time getting back to work. Stop at Quick Trip, get some of those donuts.
I'll do that. I'll definitely do that.
So we've been speaking with Jared McCutchen, your elementary school principal at Blair-Taylor. We're gonna let him get on the road, and we're gonna get on the road to going live in Green Bay. So just hold on a minute. I've got your news and weather coming up at the top of the hour.